Awesome. All right. Well, I mentioned burner accounts for a reason. There's been a lot of news in the NBA lately about Kevin Durant and his alleged use of burner accounts. It came out over All-Star break. He has since denied those reports, but
not really.
He is also a very non-denial denial.
You notice KD playing all hard. I seen KD play defense yesterday. He had like 35 points. He blocking shots, getting back. He talk about, yeah, man. No, you know Kevin Durant is a mute. He don't say nothing. They get him on a post-game interview. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Me and the young guys, man, we did a really good job. And I'm like, come on, KD.
So, honestly, like, hand up, I saw all the nonsense about it. How was it discovered? I never saw how it was figured out. Did you see?
Well, we still don't know for a fact if it's him or not.
Yeah, I know.
But
how did they connect the dots?
Because so apparently
it's all people he's played with.
He's following, his accounts follows his burner accounts, which is like.
Well, that's how his first one got found out.
Right.
These ones I don't think KD was following.
So he was. Well, that was how he got caught, right? But then people started doing the math and was just like, all right, hold on. Let me check this out. Like the timelines, like there was a whole documentary on these dudes and how they was like just piecing it together like super sleuths. And it got to a point where it was just like, this has to be Kevin Durant.
The moral of the story is people have way too much time on their hands.
Super.
Well, Durant loves it. I mean, Durant does it from his own account a lot too. Like he engages in back and forth all the time.
Remember he did it on accidentally? He accidentally tweeted out of his own account instead of the burner?
Yes, so that's the first time. So we decided let's make it a little Cleveland topic out of this. We don't know for sure if any Cleveland athletes have burner accounts, current or past. So I gave these guys a task, and we're all going to give our own answers, to pick one, either current or former Cleveland athlete, that if they had access to a burner account during their playing days, you believe would have utilized said privilege. So, G, you start us off. Which Cleveland athlete, current or former, do you believe would have been in the burnerverse had they been able to when they were here in Cleveland?
This is high allegations, and you know what? I couldn't think of nobody in the great city, great community of the Browns who would do such a thing. But I do know a coach.
Oh boy,
Freddie. No, I believe Hugh Jackson definitely had a burner. Hugh Jackson's had 3 or 4 burners. As a matter of fact, I'd be willing to wager when he came out and they said, well, they asked me to tank. Yeah, I got a contract after I tanked. I know for a fact Hugh Jackson was not playing around. He's like, y'all played me. We gonna get y'all up out of here. Just the interactions alone from Hard Knocks would tell me he had multiple burners with Todd Haley. He had some with Greg Williams. As a matter of fact, when he started coming back to the locker room, talking about, it's all on me. It's on me. If you want to be mad at anybody, blame me. I'm the guy. It's all on me. I know he had burner accounts. I know I don't know. Actually, allegedly, Hugh. I'm just saying. You definitely look like one of the dudes that possibly had a burner account. And the funny thing is, it wouldn't be funny if it wasn't at least 10% probably true.
Yeah.
Great answer.
That's a good call.
Jason, you're up next.
I was trying to think of, because obviously I covered 10 years of Cavs, so I was trying to think of Cavs players who, and there was a couple that I thought of, but I thought they were too obscure that people probably wouldn't remember or wouldn't know.
Like Rodney Hood.
Rodney Hood has never.
Like Christian Ienga, like Jeremy Pargo. Jeremy Pargo for sure would have one today, but that's too obscure. People wouldn't remember him.
Samardo Samuels.
Samardo was too stoned to ever have a burner account. he was a trip, man. Samardo was a trip. Then I went to the Browns. I thought Hollywood Higgins. That was a good possibility. Thought Shador. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, those are Shiloh's accounts. Shiloh has them joints, man. Leave him alone.
Well, we had the Leroy Bickerstaff allegations with Deshaun,
With
too.
Deshaun.
Right. No, there was like, yo.
I don't think Leroy is Deshaun. I think it's someone close to him, though. Okay. I don't think it's Deshaun.
So who'd you go with, Jason?
I went with Trevor Bauer. Because
another great one.
That's a good one.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all if he had a burner account. He just seems to fit the mold, given just his personality and everything about him. So, yeah, I went with Trevor. It wouldn't shock me at all.
So I don't know the previous athletes of the Cleveland era before I got here well enough to put 2 and 2 together. They may have a burner. So I went from 2022 on since UCSS started. And I went back and I actually thought way too hard on this for the record. Some topics like
you was in the lab.
well, I'm sitting there at the Nets game last night, and it's not close. I'm like, all right, let's figure this one out. So we looked at Kevin Durant's alleged burner use, and I tried to find some characteristics of Kevin Durant that I could translate into a Cleveland athlete that I think can make sense. Durant is not shy about his social media use, enjoys the back and forth, right? Whether
could I guess this from? I want to take a guess.
let me set it up, and then you guess it. So enjoys the back and forth, is active enough on social media, has a media presence or a presence with media that at times was really friendly and good and at times was a bit tumultuous. And although this player I'm going to mention is not anywhere near the same level as Kevin Durant, in their mind it may have been closer. So, G, who do you think I'm going to go with? It's someone we've discussed in this show numerous times.
Kyrie Irving?
No, I wasn't here for Kyrie.
Kyrie will just say it on his regular.
Give me one more guess. It's a Browns player.
Oh, it's a Browns player.
Browns player.
Baker.
Baker would have been a great guy. I went with Juan Thornhill. Thornhill.
You know what? Right.
Because Juan came out and said, hey, I am changing the landscape in Cleveland. Right. I'm sick of the media. You guys, as a media, you're too negative. We're going to start winning. And they did win one year. And then his play tailed off. And then he took some subtle sub-shots at the Browns and the fans via TikTok. There was the play where he did not look like to be giving enough effort. Yeah. And then he ended up defending himself. If you're going to defend yourself via your real account, and we can all see that with our own two eyes, what are you doing on the burners? Because there were some Juan Thornhill defenders out there, especially when he signed with Pittsburgh, saying that the Steelers are getting the best version of Juan. I'm not sure if any Browns fan or any NFL fan watching was saying there's a better version than what we just got because it's been all downhill. Unless you're a Juan Thornhill burner and you're defending yourself.
And they messed. The travesty is they gave him that number. You got number one.
Number one.
You got number one. That was even. He definitely had two or three burners because if you got number one and you ain't playing, that's nasty work. That's a good call. I think he definitely got one of them. Like, I thought about a basketball player, and he just rattled off Ricky Davis.
Oh, Ricky be a good one.
I just saw a clip of Ricky talking about when he shot at the wrong basket for the triple-double.
Right, like that. He was – and people don't remember this. There is I forget where I seen this, but when LeBron got here –
oh, Lord. I know where you're going.
Delonte?
No.
They was hate. They said – like they drafted him and they was running around. It was – they were on record. Ricky Davis, Carlos Boozer, Darius Miles. This ain't the way the league work. He gonna come and have to put work in. He gonna do
They definitely would have been talking smack on LeBron's high school. Like he ain't that nice.
They had all three of them had burners at that point in time. When he came out, like I just thought about it. And then the very first game, he pulled up, showed up, took the first. He stole the ball against the Kings, and I was like, oh yeah, you guys are all gonna be gone. You guys are going to be gone in 2 weeks.
Ricky said something to the effect of, he's here to help me or something like that. It was like, oh.
We was like, what?
Yeah, and Brown went for, I think, 23, 7, and 5 his first
never
game.
saw him again.
Something like that at Sacramento.
In my head, he just vanished. Like
it's like the only first basket of a career I remember. Like I vividly remember LeBron stealing the ball, going coast to coast, and dunking against the Kings on the most grainy. It was like television's like 1080 by 720 now.
Man,
that was like 6 by 4.
That was
like you could count the pixels on your screen. But it was so iconic that you'll never forget LeBron's first bucket.
We were having the tanking conversation the other day. Go back and look at what the Cavs did the year before LeBron. Like they traded or cut basically like their top 5 scorers.
That's what the Nets are doing right now. I mean, the Nets are ethically tanking. They try hard. They just have no talent.
I mean, it's unbelievable the trades that the Cavs made the year before LeBron's rookie year to get in position. I mean, it's incredible.
Jason, I know this is off the beaten path, but these dudes. The way they're moving right now with this tanking, I know you guys talk about that yesterday.
A couple days ago.
Tuesday we did it. Yeah.
This is nasty work. You just getting these dudes like Darius Garland. He's indefinitely out.
I mean, the Wizards traded for Trae Young and Anthony Davis and don't anticipate either playing on.
Like how like literally, what are they gonna do about this?
Well, I said the other day, I don't think it's as big of a deal. I'm not as up in arms as apparently Adam Silver is. I think there's far bigger issues in the NBA today right now than tanking. The reason teams tank is because it works. We just talked about it with the Cavs. And like teams that tank for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years is because they're bad organizations. Teams that do it for 1 or 2 years, it's because it works.
It works.
And this is I hate to use the word generational, but this looks like a really, really, really good draft.
Right.
So that's why you have so many teams doing it this year, is because they're trying to get in position to get a shot at one of these top 3 guys. So, and it goes beyond those 3, but those 3 in particular at the top. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. If they wanted to change the lottery odds, I would just flatten everything. Everybody gets, if you miss the playoffs, everybody has the same chance at the first pick.
That's scary.
If you really want to make it. This idea of abolishing the draft, I think, is totally insane. Some of this other stuff that's been thrown out there, I think, is ridiculous. The idea, I saw Shams put a tweet out that teams can't go from the conference finals, then you shouldn't get the number 1 pick the following year. That means the Cavs wouldn't have been able to get Kyrie. Like, that's insane. They lost LeBron. They lost the best player in the game. They lost a franchise. They were a horrible team, and they got the number 1 pick. And you're telling me, and one of the things being proposed is that would not be allowed. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
So I don't think it's nearly as big of a deal. I said the other day, there are more teams under a 300 winning percentage in the NFL year over year than there are in the NBA. So there's bad teams everywhere.
The bigger issue is the length of the season, but that's harder to adjust.
Yeah, it's not as obvious when you're only playing 17 games versus 82. And I'm not saying NFL teams are tanking. I'm saying they're bad teams and bad organizations, just like you have in the NBA. And Bull and I got into it a little bit, and I understand his point of like it goes to the spirit of the game and the integrity when you're sitting guys. But
the only way some of these teams can get franchise game-changing players is to be bad and happen to have the luck in the lottery. So.
And the NBA, those types of players are more valuable in any other league. It's like quarterbacks in the NFL, but even they're only on the field half the time.
Yeah.
So I get why teams do it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I'm in the minority on that.
Getting us back on track here, right? So I'm interacting with the chat. Shout out to the chat. And somebody was like, in my opinion, I don't like this topic. It's distasteful. Basically, you all are trashing people's personalities. Now, in my interaction, I told the chat, I said, I low-key want a burner account. And somebody said, why? And I'm getting to a bigger point of why players might have it. I think it's for that very reason. Because people feel so comfortable online, like sharing these negative opinions, trashing your personality, and you understand that in your profession, you can't necessarily respond like you authentically want to. So
Never.
I guess looking outside of ourselves, can you all understand why people might have burner accounts?
I have a burner account. I ain't gonna lie.
We
all
do you really?
Hell yeah. I now use it to trash the Giants.
I just think, see,
I can't be tweeting some of the real thoughts I have about the Giants.
I always feel like first of all, nobody is really taking it serious. Like, I mean, people, the internet is not real.
No.
So like, you gotta realize, and I can see why certain people have burner accounts, because in today's generation, there's certain things that never happened before. Like, you got to look at it from, we just talked about earlier in the show with technology. Now today, you can turn on the computer and you can see comments about yourself from here to whenever you want to, and you have no control over it. And sometimes when you're younger and you get to a point where you are at a situation where you're young, you don't think all the way, you're not mature when it comes to certain things. Trust me, if I had a computer screen and I could talk and say things back to people back when I was in my 20s and 21, I wouldn't be here today because but then again, we grew with it. You know what I mean? Like, I was there, and then I had an opportunity that it wasn't there. Then I had an opportunity to get older. And then by the time I was old and realized, okay, I can't really say this. But it's human nature. Like, let's be real. Like, it is human nature that you want to defend yourself. It's human nature that when somebody says something bad about you that ain't true, or they really getting at you, I can understand these people as human, and some of the stuff people say to them is crazy. It's wild. So I don't degrade anybody for having a burner account. I just call it being human, right? Hopefully you get to a point where you get to a mature level where you understand that this is what comes with it. Is it fair? No. But like Jason said, sometimes it's just better that you don't look at it, don't go at it, do what your life is, do what you do, and keep it pushing. Because if you go checking yourself and all the time and Googling your name, you're going to end up on every Reddit board, and this is not going good.
There could be 1,000 comments, 999 could be good, and it's the one saying you're a piece of crap that's going to stand out.
I disagree with the sentiment that the internet is not real for a few reasons. We don't say the internet is not real when we are monetizing it and benefiting from it in that way. We damn sure don't say that when cyberbullying take place and people harm themselves in a way that's irreversible, right? And so, like, I think it's real easy to sit up here and say the internet is not real. The issue is people don't want to keep it real that, like, yeah, men and women, we get our feelings hurt. And sometimes we can't take the backlash. It's so funny how people want to move on from Shador Sanders, for example, because of some of the backlash some people in the media in this city gets on social media. I just feel like we pick and choose when we want to say if it's real or not. But in my opinion, I think we should just all try to do a better job in how we use it and then controlling ourselves and how we respond. And I am public enemy number one. It depends on my day-to-day mood if I'm going to engage with the negativity or not. Sometimes I'm not in the mood and I want all the smoke. Other times I'm in a good space and I can just let it roll off my back. It depends.
I think the comment I made with the internet is not real. I'm talking about not from a specific standpoint of the interaction with the people and the content you put out. I'm saying
a small minority of
the internet is not real because it's not for a lot of people. It is not an honest place for real interaction.
Social media. I'm with G. Social media. I don't know about the internet. Social media is not real life. Like Twitter is not real life, and Instagram is not real life. Instagram is the life you want people to see. It's not real life. Facebook is not real life, and I don't make $1 off Twitter. Like, never in my life have I made $1 off Twitter. Yeah. I've never made $1 off YouTube, to be honest, other than obviously the show paying me. But from YouTube itself, I never made $1 off that. So I mean, like I said earlier, I'm almost 50 years old. I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. And
you don't even use your Twitter.
No.
I get people that tag me, say, well, you tell Jason this. And I'm like, Jason's not going to see this.
I could go multiple days without ever being on Twitter. Now, 25 years ago, oh, Lord. I know I wouldn't have reacted the same, but I just, it's not real life to me. I don't care.
And so a lot of it, when you say it's not real life, is you realize that some people that interact with you on the internet, they are only there to antagonize, or they don't care.
Trolls.
They don't care nothing about you. Like, they don't care nothing about, like, if it wasn't you, it'll be something else.
Yeah.
So to me, what I always tell people is, the real things that really make sense is, you go to funerals, right? And for those moments, I talked to Jason about this when, we was behind the scenes, and because at the same time we had a lot of people. I was like, dang, we keep going to funerals,
I know,
Jason.
yeah.
And I said, when you go to them funerals, bro, you realize none of this, what count. None of it. Because when you sitting there looking, you realize what's important. That time that you could have been spending with that person or checking up on people, those are the real interactions, right? Like the interactions between you and people, your family. And you realize that the time you doing with that, yes, it's dopamines, and yes, you like to interact. But the real thing is to be able to connect, to make a real connection with somebody. And I think a lot of times I can understand what athletes think and understand, because they are real people, and they are in a position just because you make a bunch of money, people feel like, yeah, you rich, so that richness should count for everything.
Like, you don't have real struggles.
Right. You don't got no real,
What social media has done, and I've figured this out around the time of the decision, it gave the general public access to athletes that they never had before. And when LeBron said it became racial over the decision, everyone's like, what are you talking about? How did this wasn't racial? I'm like, go look at his mentions on Twitter, and then come back to me and tell me if it was racial or not. And it gave people a direct line to communicate with these people that before social media were never, and you could never.
Random dude on his basis, never talking to Kevin Durant, and now Kevin Durant is, and from his own account, is choosing to respond to certain people.
And 25 years ago, that was not a possibility. So, and whether or not they choose to read it or interact with it or whatever is on them.
They see it.
But that just never existed before. So that's where a lot of, like before you would just have to boo them from the stands and you would say you suck and whatever else. Well, now you can tell them directly to their account that you suck and everything else. But yet when you see them in public, it's nothing but handshakes and hugs and, oh man, I love you.
Right. It's different. It's different when you see them. Like I always tell people all the time, man, like some people, you know, look, for all the groups of people out there that they say they love you, there is also another group of people that don't. Like there's always like, as big as your platform is, and you got a bunch of people that love what you're saying today, but then tomorrow you can say something they don't like it. There's always going to be give and takes. But the thing is, it's crazy because now when you're in public, with them it's even crazier because you never know.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. Because when you're accessible, because of social media, I'll tell people like this, more than ever with the rise of the internet and Twitter, regular people have become more of
They're following.
So how many times have you gone different places or you gone different places and you just at the grocery store and it's like, hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
I saw the show yesterday.
It happens all the time.
And so, and because of us, I don't think of it. I never thought of it in this way. But sometimes when that happens, I now foresee, I kind of see how players feel about it because at certain times it could be off-putting. Not off-putting, but it could be alarming because you're like, dang, I didn't even see this person. Like, where did this person come from?
Yeah.
Like, how long they've been watching me? Some people will say, hey, I saw you leaving your house the other day. You're like, how you see me? What are you talking about, bro? Like, yeah, I saw you walking down the street.
This wasn't yesterday. This was the home game against Washington. You know, we get our little media voucher. You get food at Cavs games.
Mm-hmm.
Someone tweeted a picture of me from the upper deck of me eating a sandwich and was like, I'm like, oh God.
Right?
Like, A, it's a terrible picture. So I'm horrified that's on the internet. But also, B, like, I'm just trying to eat a sandwich here in peace, guys.
So this is a healthy discussion. Somebody in the chat said, for example, they saw G at the grocery store and they kept it pushing. This is how I look at it because normal, everyday people have large followings. Respect don't cost you nothing. And I always look at things outside of myself. Like, what if you say something to somebody and you catch them in the absolute worst mood, worst time in their life, and they was already like on edge and what you said sent them over? Or what if you really are dealing with somebody who have nothing to lose and they just kind of like a loose screw and lose it anytime? My point is you never really know who you run into.
Yep.
And not everybody is going to give you a pass of I was just playing or it's just the internet. Like there's people out here who stand on business for real. And I just feel like, man, I just try to lead every situation with respect. I do have moments to where if I feel disrespected, I'll kind of like shoot back, but I don't lead with disrespect at all because I understand like it might have consequences that is unforeseen and don't nobody want that.
What do you got tattooed right here?
11-11.
Oh, the other one then.
Be great, spread love.
There you go. Like,
and by the way,
be kind to everybody, and a lot of the things in this world will be a lot different.
I always tell people, no matter if you agree with me or you don't agree with me, you know,
we're talking sports. It's not that
this
serious.
This is easy. This is sports. Like people be getting confused. Like, oh, you got a problem? No. Listen, this is sports. There's people out here with real jobs. And by the way, if you do see me, I always tell if you see me, ain't no problem. You walk up, say hi. I'm gonna talk to you. Matter of fact, I probably am gonna be with my wife, and she's probably gonna ask, "Do you want a picture?" And I'm gonna say, "Yeah." Like, so at the end of the day, like it's all good, bro. Like, the thing I do love about this is, but after doing this show, there's so many people that show so much love. You know what I'm saying? That just genuine people, whether, you know, they talk about Cavs, Browns, whatever. They just come up, they want to ask about everybody on the show. Hey, how's McNuggets? And they be acting like it's like a huge family. And I think that's why UCSS is cool because we do be in the chat. I be in the chat all the time with them. I was in the chat making fun of my own coach. This is a Kermit the Frog. I say 100 Kermit the Frogs had to die by in making this coat. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we get it. Like, so at the end of the day, we be having fun. But like you said, it ain't that crazy. It ain't that serious.
We're talking sports.
We talking sports.
Talking sports.
We're going to have a good time, though.
Let's get to the next topic because we got two more we definitely got to get to today.
Topic.